Hello, I'm Lisa Murdock. I live in Winnipeg, Manitoba. I'm an off-reserve member of the Cadla First Nation, formerly known as the Hay River Dene Reserve, located in Northwest Territories. My mother, Rita, is a Dene woman who also lives in Winnipeg. My late father, Olaf, was a strong, hard-working European man from a small town located on the outskirts of Copenhagen, Denmark. I'm married to my long-term partner, Sam, and I'm the proud mother of 3 beautiful children, Nolan, Madison, and Adam. My mother is a residential school survivor. Just before her 4th birthday, my mother was picked up and taken to St. Henry's Mission, a convent that was run by the Grey Nuns in Fort Vermilion, Alberta. She remained at St. Henry's Mission until the age of 6, when her father picked her up and took her home to Lower Hay River in the Northwest Territories. After a few short weeks at home, my mother was again shipped off to a residential school, this time to St. Joseph's Roman Catholic Residential School, located in Fort Resolution, Northwest Territories. She remained in the residential school system until she was almost 16 years old. During this time, she did not experience any other visits at home, other than that one experience that she had at home while she was 6. The experience of being taken away and detached from her family and community, and of being raised in a cold and unfamiliar environment of residential boarding schools, had deeply affected my mother. She spent a good portion of her life being angry, not trusting anyone, and struggling to belong. For the most part, she suffered in silence. Much of her days were plagued with alcohol, violence, and self-harm as a way to cope with the lonely and traumatic experiences she survived as a child, and with the deeply rooted pain she struggled to overcome well into her elderly years. My video tells a story about how my mother's experiences at residential school had affected my own life, depicted through a series of photos, with each image representing a multitude of underlying stories. My video is about how I, like my mother, felt lonely and alone, worried and afraid, abandoned and unwanted, and genuinely responsible as a child growing up. The message that I want to send through my video is that my mother had unwittingly transferred not only her emotional pain onto me as her daughter, but also her sense of resilience and determination to survive. I really admire my mother. She's the most resilient person I know. My mother is a residential school survivor. For 11 of her childhood years, she endured unthinkable crimes that no child, no human being should ever have to experience. Unspeakable sins aimed at stripping away her natural-born identity. For 11 years, my mother remained shackled amidst the strictest of physical punishment, the cruelest of mental anguish, and the loneliest of abandonment. For 11 long, lonely years, and for almost a generation after that, my mother had survived more pain than I could ever begin to describe. If there's one thing that I've come to realize, it's that I've been deeply affected by this pain that my mother carries. Sure, there have been many happy, fun, and exciting times in my life, but there have also been some not-so-good times. Painful times that I, like my mother, tried to keep hidden in the back of my mind, in the depths of my heart. No matter how hard I try to forget, I'll always remember those saddened times, times of being locked out, being alone and forgotten. I'll always remember the times of being cold and tired, and I'll always remember all the times I've been worried and afraid. My mother doesn't talk about the tragedy she survived as a child, just as I don't talk about the aftermath of her harrowing experiences, the ever-revolving experiences that were passed along to me and that inherently belong to my children and to their children after that. And although she has tried to bury her horrific experiences in the far reaches of her mind, in the deepest parts of her soul, I can still see her pain. I can feel it. You see, I am my mother's daughter, and I carry her pain in my heart.